I have gotten comment after comment telling me to attempt to make a lunar eclipse in my hardcore world, so here we are. I did have this idea months ago, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, because we have to have the moon, then turn it red, and then make it go back to normal. It took a while, but I made a plan. We're next to the box that has a solar eclipse in it, and we need to build another box around here, and it's gonna be a 37 by 37 cube. This is the frame of the cube, and luckily for my sanity, it is much smaller than that, and we need to fill in all of the sides with black concrete. I got 2 shulker boxes full of sand and gravel, and then I found out I needed 13 stacks of ink sacks. And there was no way I was gonna go and swim in the ocean and just kill squid. That'd just take too long. So I'm making a squid farm in this river. It's gonna be a quick and easy one, and we do need to drain just a bit of this river out. We've made the squid farm down there. Now, to make it work better, we need to just clear out this entire river of its water so that squid won't spawn in there, but will instead be forced to spawn in the farm. And we don't have to clear out that or that because luckily it's not a river biome. So there we have the water all drained out, the farm built, and I have AFK'd at this for a bit, so we're just gonna see how much things we get. So down here I've gotten plenty of ink sacks. I only needed 13 stacks and I got 16. We can take this and just bring it back to the base so we can make the black concrete. Here's the shulker boxes. We've got the gravel in here, sand in here, and the ink sacks here. And we just take this, go back and forth, and craft it. And please ignore all of this. I'll get to it eventually. Here's the black concrete in all 4 shulker boxes. We just grab this and take it up to this house, and down here is my concrete maker. We'll just run this until this is all turned from powder into normal concrete. We've finished changing it into normal concrete, and what's weird about it is that I got all this filled up, but I'm missing 4 black concrete. It shouldn't matter much, I got extra anyways, but I'm confused where it went. We brought the shulkers, and now just to do the annoying process of filling this all with black concrete. We built the box and it didn't take too long, it took less than an hour. Here's what it looks like inside, and you can you can't even see anything. Now at the top we need to go to the center, and from here dig out a 5 by 5 hole. This is where the moon's gonna be. We just need to check if it's centered. From above it does look centered. I mean, it does kind of look slightly off sometimes, but I checked it and it is perfectly centered. We're in a test world, not the actual world, and we need to design how the lunar eclipse is gonna work. My plan is that I have these 2 different moons, the normal moon and the moon during the eclipse. So I'm gonna have it so down below it starts off like this, then turns to this, and then ends off back to normal. So the plan is to have 3 moons like this and have flying machines on top of them, just push them across. So it goes across and then there's the hole underneath here. Then this will become visible, and I'm gonna try to get it for a minute straight, being this visible, and then it changes into this. So we put a flying machine on the moon, and it looks kind of strange, but that's because all this at the top is just so that when a block touches it, it should stop immediately. So we got some concrete, so when I turn this on, it should stop when it gets here. That's because the pistons can't push anymore, so they are forced to stop. This will make it easy, so we can, when this gets over to here, we can just stop it and make it still. So I made this flying machine. Doesn't look the best, but you can activate it from the top. You can just place it next to each other, so it works all fine. It takes 2 blocks to stop it. I couldn't figure out how to place one without messing it up. And now I'm working over here just to see if I can make these 2 just move with each other at the same time, but I'll show you. What I have now with this repeater is that, see, it's just that 1 block, but so it'd be nice just to have it all connected at once. So I'm gonna put a 2-tick repeater down, see what this does. looks less, but we'll try again. We'll skip straight to 4 tick. So here's 4 tick. So it didn't even get to go. Put it on 3. The same thing happened again. I added the third one because I thought it'd be better to test it all at once, but we're having the same problem of it just being that just one block between them. And I'm not sure how much we can do about that. So my idea to fix it was that I was noticing that when this was going, it had blocks here, and it actually get pushed forward this way, which caused the gap. Got rid of that. But now, what the problem is that if I have all these repeaters gone, send it off, if you can see, it'll, like, the observer sticks to this, which stops it from going off, which stops, just all of them stop. So I need to find a way to fix that. And if we add delays, it just makes that one block problem again. I changed the design to this where it's 6 blocks instead of a 5 block, but then what happened was I set this off and it didn't work. And I thought, oh no, how do we get this to work? Why isn't it working? But then I click it again. Did you see that? At the bottom here, the back two, they move together. Meaning this works, we just gotta fix the start. Now the problem is that when I flick this, what happens is it stops because the block is on this and it just stops it from moving. So we need to find a way so that block gets removed in time so that this can keep on going. So it's trying to have the observer and then a piston, and then now when we press this, it all moves together. But it doesn't happen when we press this or that button because we need to send it through this way. So this gets sent first. Now that we have that sorted, we need to make it so that once the red section is covering this, we need to make it so it stops there. And then after a minute, it goes again. So I'm changing the plan a bit. What's happening is that we're gonna have only 2 at a time going because there's really no need for this back one. It can move separately until we really need it. And what I've worked is that flick this, then this, and then it stops it. Then once the minute's up, we can just hit that. And it should move, but we need to fix it. It's a bit of a mess, but if I click this button, it goes off, then it stops perfectly. And then if you give it a bit, it then goes back on. I know the repeaters don't look good, but that's the only way I could think of to do it. Now we need to make it so that this final moon, it stays behind here after that while this is all stopping. And then when this finally goes off, it goes off with it. So I've connected it up here, added some repeaters, worked on the timing, and now if I press this button, it should work all good. So it stops. So under here, we would see the full eclipse. Then it comes across, then it moves perfectly, and then it stops. Instead of a lot of repeaters, what we now have is a hopper clock. It has a stack of blocks in it. We can change that if we really want. And it is locked until it gets to here. It pulls the block back, unlocks it, and then after that's done, it locks itself, and then it can send the rest off. I'm gonna try to see if I can make it so it's a 6x6, and then I'll show you what it all looks like. Now here's the test to see if it's gonna work. Here we go. I don't know what went wrong. I fixed it, it's all working, but I'm not gonna show you it. We're just gonna go straight and build it. I've also made a large design for the moons. We got everything in here. I got a schematic. We're just gonna build this, and then we'll be able to run it. Up here we finished the build. All the redstone is done, we're ready to create a lunar eclipse. There's the moon up there, all we have to do is press this button. Now, it is a lunar eclipse. The moon has turned red. Now we just gotta wait here for a bit. Got a stack of blocks that need to move from one hopper to another. And now, the lunar eclipse has ended. So that was the lunar eclipse. I think it went alright. It was a bit difficult to do it because you can't really get that red glow when it's in the middle of the lunar eclipse. It's a bit difficult. So I did the best I could. I also couldn't manage to make the pistons make it move smoothly. If you saw there was a little gap in between the movement, I had to have that because every time I tried it, it would break. But besides all that, I thought that went well. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I reckon you'll like this video, which is my last episode where I made a Hoglin farm.